Now, direct from a sunny beach in Florida,
How's he not hot in all that leather?
it's Metal Mayhem ROC correspondent Southern Cal with concert and music reviews, interviews, and more.
Go ahead and pass the sunscreen.
Here's Southern Cal.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Metal Mayhem ROC. I'm your host, Southern Cal. We got a great show tonight. We are going to be talking to the vocalist Jeff Vandenberghe from the band Love and War. I'm sure this past Friday night it was even hotter. I saw you guys played with Tom Kiefer and John Carrot, Eddie
We
Trunk
did.
Production this past Friday. Tell us about that.
Well, it was hotter than hell in that club, but they had AC, but it was really, really hot. So, yeah, it was fun. But I almost passed out on stage, but it was fun.
Yeah, anybody with, Florida, we have AC too, but it doesn't really matter too much. It's still
Oh man,
awesome.
yeah, we got
Big go. Everything fine with that?
yeah, I got about 3/4 of the way through the show, and then I literally almost blacked out on stage. It got so hot. I almost passed out, but the show it was fun up until that point, or anyway, it was we were having a great show.
All right. Hey, to start, give us a little brief history of Love and War, the lineup changes maybe through the years, and where we stand right now in 2023.
Well, we started it back, boy, it was early 2000. John and I came off of doing our works and stuff, and we decided we wanted to start a new project. We did a reunion show and had so much fun doing it that we decided to go ahead and start another project, and it became Love and War. John actually thought of the name. We were thinking of names for the bands, and John came up with, hey, what about Love and War? And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then we worked on logos and whatnot, and we had our original the original lineup. The lineup we have now is by far, I think, the best of all of them. But Donnie Bragg and Ray Soliz, and we brought Greg in. Greg actually recorded our two albums, our two CDs that we did. He was the producer and sound engineer. He had a studio, and he recorded our first CD, Up the Ante, and he did such a great job. We knew we wanted to bring him in for the second one. So we gave him a call and said, hey, do you still got your recording gear? And he said, well, I do, but give me a little time to find a place to put it. And he found a amazing place. He had moved to Missouri, and he found this place. It was called the Abbey, and it was on 70 acres of property. It was a 150-year-old abbey. Nuns had lived there. There's a graveyard there that it's these nuns from the 1700s. The graves are. It's kind of spooky, but a cool vibe spooky. There was a church connected to it, and these people had bought it. It had been vacant. It was a makeshift hospital during the Civil War, also. So it was this red brick, gigantic. It looked like we had gone back in time in Europe or something somewhere. It was just that kind of a vibe in the country.
Right.
And they basically gave us full reign of that place, and we recorded the second album there, which was the one you see in the background there. Then we had.
I love that. Right off the edge of the world. Perfect.
Yeah.
Down there. Great artwork. Well, let's talk about Edge of the World a little bit.
Sure.
You guys are self-described as a melodic band, heavy melodic. I found a lot of heavy grooving in this stuff. You guys are down in the bottom end of things. It kind of band right there. Let's talk about the opener. We All Fall Down. Definitely you could hear some Hammer fall in there, maybe a little Burning Star.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely on that heavier side.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. We opened the show with that actually. So most of the time, yeah, that's a great tune. John actually came up with the riff for that, and had the idea for the song. I usually pitch in on the lyrics and write the lyrical melodies for the songs, but John usually comes up with the riffs, and we work that out, and it just, yeah, I love that song. I love this whole album. I mean, obviously.
Are you the primary for the band?
I'm sorry?
Primary lyric writer for the band.
Yes, yes. John will come up with some, sometimes he'll have ideas for like, when he has a riff going, I'll say, do you have any kind of ideas for a chorus? And sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. And if he does, then I'll work off of that and just, work our magic, and it kind of comes.
Talking about great choruses, let's move into the song Mercenary.
Glad you like that.
Pulls you right in. That chorus, it's got that hook.
It's got that old school sound to it too, doesn't it?
So you by the second chorus through, you find yourself singing along to it.
That's the idea.
Some great drum work on there also.
Great, thank you.
And stuff in there, and the fills and everything, and not an overabundance of cymbals. It's very John Bonham-ish. He used very few cymbals.
Donnie's gonna love you for that.
And this is what it is. There's no unnecessary splashing. Great.
We don't try to overdo it,
Exactly. And more is less, let's say, and it really emphasizes his drums sticking out on that song. Like I said, the fills and the triplets are just great in that, and the chorus definitely pulls you right in.
It gets you, doesn't it?
The next one I wanted to maybe talk about here a little bit, and it seems so outside the box from the rest of the songs on the album, and this is probably my favorite song from this album.
Really?
Strange Kind of Medicine.
Oh yeah. Those were all sayings that my dad had taught me when I was a kid growing up, love many, trust few, learn to paddle your own canoe, and, just sayings like that. So it was really a tribute to my dad, the lyrics anyway, but John had the idea for the song, and we kind of Southern rocked it, with the swampy kind of thing with the slide guitar. And then we had our buddy Eric, that actually lives in Missouri, but he works with a lot of guys in Nashville, did the harmonica, and that just kind of brought it over top.
Right from the beginning, you had the crickets and the cicadas going.
Yeah.
Steel guitar comes in, and you're talking.
We wanted to make it kind of swampy sounding, and it definitely did it.
At the mark. I was trying to think of others like Uncle Tom's Cabin or Wishing Well. It had that dirtiness, that greasiness to it.
That's that Texas, we had to bring the Texas into it.
It's awesome. Just what a great tune that is. And then it ends with the outtake of right back into the crickets again. And you can see that Spanish moss hanging from the trees. You can hear them crickets and stuff, and smell that black water. It's just.
Yeah, John did a great job on the guitar work on that. He did some banjo work on there. There's stuff that sounds like a sitar, and the slide, the steel guitar slide that he did, and all that he did a really good job on that.
I tell you, everything in that fit perfectly into that song. What a great
Thank
song.
you.
Guys, close out the 10th song on that, a little cover of Judas Priest's Delivering the Goods. I will assume this is it.
We do that live every once in a while, and we recorded that live, and it just came out amazing. We wanted to throw that in. I'm sorry.
Did you guys record that at?
Well, it was actually a compilation of a couple of places that we just kind of mashed it together. Greg did a great job of that, but it was just a couple of our live shows that we did here, Warehouse Live and at Rise.
That mix is seamless in there. It's what a great. Yeah. It definitely lets everybody hear your vocal range for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Your vocals are very strong, very powerful. You got a great range.
Thank you.
And that, there'll be no other Rob Halford.
Obviously. Oh
no. You hit this song perfectly.
Thank you.
What a great cover, especially live.
Thank you.
Hey Jeff, I wanted to chirp in a little bit because I had a couple comments, a couple songs. Start Believing, kick-ass tune.
Thank you.
Now these are my notes. Fast paced, catchy. it's a heavy rocker and it starts building up. And then more importantly, what I enjoyed about this album was the sequencing of the album. It's definite throwback, you know,
Yeah.
the back in the day where there was literally a side one and a side two.
Right on, brother.
You know, Southern Cal commented he led with the first track, but this, you know, Start Believing, it's a great second track. And
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And you mentioned the other guitarist ends up being your producer. The track.
Well, he was our producer. He was our producer, and we brought him in as a guitar player. And he's now our fifth guitar player in the band. Now we brought him in.
So that was it. It wasn't the other way around. He didn't.
Yes.
Well, you know, that last track, or the Psycho Ride, you know, the working.
We did some fun production on that too. If you hear that, all psychos must exit the ride to the left, please.
That was cool. Well, the guitar work, you know, with John and Gail, there was that was good stuff. But I just wanted to comment on that because, you know, we've been listening to this for the last week or so when Benjamin sent us the advance, and you know, we do have a show, a live radio show on Monday nights.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, Metal Devastation Radio. So before I go away and let John take over, what song can we play this coming next show on Monday night? What do you suggest to get people into Love and War?
Wow.
We'll give you two. We'll give you two, Jeff. We'll do a twofer.
Well, shoot. Either one of the two that we just talked about would be fine. Yeah, I would love you. I love the whole album. I'm impartial, man. So you can't ask me that. I'll let you pick because I'm impartial, man. I love the whole album, man.
Yeah, that's true. That's my job.
I do love the live priest.
All right. Well, bottoms up, and if I find anything else, I'll be back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff. Let's step into this September 9th. 2 CD limited edition, 20 tracks of The Edge of the World. Let's talk about that. 20 tracks on there. What are the other 10 tracks that are going to be available that aren't on the Edge of the World release?
Well, that's our Up the Ante CD is also included in that double CD. So you get our first CD release, and then the second, and Edge of the World with the live track of the priest.
So do you guys have any on anything new in the works that's your pre-production, let's say?
Well, we're actually working on that right now. John has already sent me a couple of riffs, you know, that he's got ideas for, and I know him and Greg are kind of kicking some ideas around. Greg is a great songwriter as well and a great guitar player. So between the two of them, we're letting them kind of mash some stuff together, and then we'll get together and see what happens. And we're hoping to have another, maybe be working on another CD by this year.
Good. That's awesome. What a tight band. I tell you, you guys sound great. Everybody handles their instruments with 100% expertise for sure.
Thank you.
You know, you guys played that show this past Friday. Any plans on hitting the road to do any more shows?
Well, that's the last show that we had booked for now. I'm sure we'll get some more offers coming up, but really, we're just taking a little hiatus and going to start writing again.
State of touring right now and what it is, being as difficult it is for bands to get out on the road. Would you find yourself, if it's going to happen, or like a regional touring band, or, you know, somebody that's going to try to hit all of the U.S.?
Well, we stay pretty much regional for now. And we get to open for a lot of the big national shows that come to us. So it's been we kind of spoiled that way. But we were actually thinking about trying to do maybe going over to Europe and doing some, trying to get on to some of those festivals is what we'd really like to do.
Over there going on all the time for sure.
Oh yeah. And we've already been talking to some people about trying to get in on
Hell's
Hero
coming up in Houston. I believe it's in March.
Yes.
What's it going to take to get you guys on the bill there?
Wow. Well, you know, getting in with the promoters, we lost a very dear friend of ours, and he was a promoter here. John Escamilla was a very close, dear friends for years and years and years, and he just died last year. So it's really just a matter of whining and dining and seeing who we can do. Let's see what we can do to get in with those guys, the guys that are in charge.
Is that a bill you guys would like to try to get on if you could?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Crazy band, Sodom for one, just to start off on the top there. It's just
Oh yeah.
great bands.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're talking about you guys being a Houston band. How about James Rivera from Hellstar? You ever
We run into him all the time. Yeah.
Got a few
Love James, man.
You know, he said if I ever get out there to Houston, there's some Mexican restaurant that he talked about it for about 10 minutes.
He can turn you on to the best of them.
What a great guy. Little, you know.
Oh, he is. Yeah. Yeah, we joke around with each other a lot because he's so small. He's like Keebler to me, and I'm 6'5", and he's a little short guy. So we joke around with each other all the time.
Way back in the day, you know, I stopped growing. I'm like 5'7". So when I back in the 80s, I was like, look at this guy, is as tall as me. But you see someone live, they look larger than life to you. Tom Celtic Frost, he's like 5'5" too, but you look guy looks huge. That's pretty people can do that and all that. So what a good time that was. All right. Anything else? You know, you have your contacts. I like Bandcamp. I'm sure you guys are on. Any contacts you want to try to promote with anybody? Or
well, we have a Facebook page, I know, and we're also, our music is available on all the streaming networks, Spotify, pretty much iTunes, all of them. You can pull up the albums on YouTube as well.
Awesome.
Hey Jeff, I want to ask you a couple questions. Seeing that, you know, you've been in this business for years, the band's like a young band, if you will, but you guys have an old soul. You know, your music goes back to the olden days, if you will. And I say that as a compliment.
70s children.
First part of this question, do you find you're getting some younger fans? Is there like the cycle around where
absolutely
it's like God,
it seems like the younger people are digging it more and more now. We're just trying to keep the rock and the metal scene alive. It just seems, you know, it's hard to do here in the States anyway. I mean, over in Europe they fucking love this stuff. Yeah. But it just seemed like thank God for you guys, because you're keeping it alive as well.
No,
but,
we see it all the time. Yeah, we talk with a lot of people, a lot of bands, and you know, I'll be honest with you. I just turned 56, and it's harder and harder to get out there to a gig. You know, once you get older, it's like, maybe if they want in at 7, and I hate to show my age, but it's true. You know, how does that affect you as a performer? Like, I would say, well, you're not in your 50s yet. You're about 45, I would say. And
well, I love you, bro. Yeah. I'm not going to tell you my real age now.
Well, you're 40,
but I'll go with that.
You're 45
right, we'll
for the
go
next
with that.
15
I love
minutes.
you, man.
You know,
that's right.
Do you find yourself
Let's
like?
Put it this way: I'm celebrating my birthday on leap year now. Okay, it's like every 4 years.
Yeah. So, like, has it caught up with you, Jeff, or is it still that cliche? 22 hours of the day, it's a drag, but it's all worth it for that time on stage.
Oh man, on stage, it's just that you can't. There's no high like that, you know, running out in front of people like that, and it's what we do it for. Mm-hmm. You know, that we just do it for the love of the music. You know, we've been doing this for, like you said, many, many years now, and if it weren't for the love of the music, hell, if it were for money, we would have quit a long time ago. You know, it's not about the cash or the money really anymore. It's been the love of the music.
Do you have pre-concert rituals that you go through before the shows?
Well, I've always, my cat gonna try to jump on me. I warm up. I actually warm up in the tub. My neighbors, I have headphones and I put them on, and my neighbors think I'm drowning a cat because all they hear is you know. But I gargle with hot salt water, and you know, and I do the whole thing before. Yeah, and I warm up to listening to albums and singing along with albums that I like. to warm up before a show and even before rehearsals. So I've done that for many, many years.
Hey, on that rooftop show, was Kiefer cool, Karabi cool, and was Eddie cool?
Very, very, very cool guys. Yes, they were all very super nice guys. He's got a lot of his band is he's got some great killer players from Nashville that are with him on this tour that are just amazing musicians, man.
Well, you know how that Nashville pedigree is now. John and I were down there in March for the Rockin' Pod convention, and Jeremy Ashbrock from plays in Ace's band and other, they're all over the place. And
we've opened for Ace twice now. Those guys are super fun to hang out with, man. I hung out with them here in Houston down at the Dirt Bar after the show we did with them at Warehouse Live, and we had a blast.
Yeah. Well, they have that new outfit, Jeremy and Cook. They
and those guys are so cool.
Yeah,
they're fun as hell to hang out with. Let's put it that way.
They're totally cool. They're great guys. That's awesome. So when these national bands come in and you have direct support, they're showing the respect, and
some do, some don't. I won't get into names, but some of the people we've opened for have been kind of not so cool, but usually their band members are. It's kind of crazy, They'll have it might be the main guy, might be kind of a douche, but his bands are like super friendly.
Well, let's flip
that's happened a couple of times, but for the most part, we get along with everybody.
Let's flip the coin. Who's been really cool that you could say was totally cool? Like you're like, wow, that dude was like awesome.
Well, I could say the guy like Winger, the guys from Winger, those guys were all super nice. Kip was cool as shit. We've opened for the guys from oh my God, Screaming in the Night. What the hell? Crocus. Those guys were a riot, man. We had a blast with them. They were super cool. The guys from Accept were all cool as shit. Tesla, we opened for Tesla, and every one of those guys were just super cool as shit to us.
That's weird that you say Accept, because in some of my notes, one of these tracks, oh shit, I can't find it, but I wrote down, sort of sounds like Turnello, Mark Turnello, your vocals. Take it as
wow, cool.
Yeah, well,
that is a compliment.
Well, we heard a lot of it, like that opening track. It reminded me of Dokken, like George Lynch, the guitar. Yeah.
It does. It sounds a little Dokken-ish, but you can definitely hear our influences for sure.
Who are your top bands? Let's do a little Mount Rushmore metal. Give us your top 4 vocalists. And
oh man, well,
who are your bands?
I grew up with Robert Plant, so
okay.
Obviously Robert Plant, the old days, I loved him. Of course, Halford. Who doesn't like Halford? I actually, this is kind of an off one, but Steve Walsh, the singer for Kansas, the original singer for Kansas. You ever listen to those albums? He's an amazing singer, man. And he was all over the stage. So I used to love trying to sing along with those albums back in the day when I used to warm up to that stuff. But God, who else? Tony Harnell from TNT. I love watching that. He's got an amazing range. And a super nice guy. We've met him here in Houston.
I hear he's back in the band.
I've heard that too. I can't wait to hear what they do. It'll be amazing. We went on the Monsters of Rock cruise a few years back, and it was weird because he wasn't in TNT anymore, but TNT was playing, and he was on the ship doing an acoustic thing with Michael Sweet.
Oh, okay.
So it was, and I bumped into him in the elevator, and I said, I'm sure you've heard this all over the damn boat. Are you going to actually get up? Are they going to have you get up and do any songs with them? And he said, no, and I don't want to talk about it. So I was like, wow.
What was Love and War playing?
Okay. It was weird that they were. No, we weren't playing. We just went for fun.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you've never been on, it actually left out of Florida. The Monsters of Rock cruise. It was a blast. Definitely got to prime your liver for that thing, man, because it's like 5 days at sea, and you're just, they slip an itinerary under your door every morning, and there's bands playing all over. They've got a concert stage over one of the pools they cover over, and it's a giant outdoor concert stage right there on the top deck. And then all the clubs that are going on in the theater, there's bands playing everywhere, all over the boat, all day and night, and for 5-6 days straight. So, and you're at sea, so there's nowhere they can go. So you're bumping into them, while you're eating in the cafeteria. You're bumping into them walking down the hallway. I mean, you get a chance to talk to people. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun.
Cool.
Or have you ever been asked?
We have friends that are playing on them, and we've talked about it. We're trying to. I would love to do that. It'd be a blast. It'd be like a working vacation.
Other lineups on these cruises. They're both, one leaves out of, it's 30 minutes north of me in Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral, and the other one leaves out of Miami every year. And then they do West Festival in there too. Another Eddie Trunk production.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yep. The one that we went on, it was Tesla, it was TNT. God, the list was amazing, and there was so many bands, and we just had so much fun, man. And there was like probably
how could you not?
20 bands playing all over the ship, man, at any given time.
What year was this?
This was probably about 5-6 years ago that I went on it. It was funny because Biff Byford was on there, and I got a picture standing there holding, we were holding on to each other, and I got a picture of them, and people were laughing. They were like, "You guys look like freaking brothers." It's funny. It was pretty funny. We did look a lot. We were even wearing the same shit. It was funny as hell. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm never going to hear the end of this one."
Jeff, that's awesome. We love Tesla. So, but listen, I'm going to let John finish up, dude. Fucking Love and War. Love the band, and we'll be talking with you soon.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jeff, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for joining us tonight. Real quickly, just to let our listeners know again what your plans are for the next few months with your music and the new music you guys are working on. When we could look forward to that.
Well, hopefully by next summer we'll have another album for you. We're in the process of writing new stuff right now, so stay tuned. And we'll keep you posted.
Looking at something full length, or looking at
we might do a couple of songs and release them as singles. A lot of bands are doing that. It's funny. We just did a show with the guy with Stephen Piercy we were talking to them about that, and they were like, nowadays it's hard to do full length albums, so it's good to just kind of you can release songs and then do like an EP and release the songs here and there digitally. It's so much easier to do that now, but we love the full album thing. But we'll probably release some songs as we're working on it, and kind of put it out there as some teasers, and then put the whole album out later.
It definitely seems the attention span of the younger listeners now. You got to hit them hard and hit them fast.
And everything is digital now. Everybody's releasing.
I hear you. Jeff, we appreciate you joining us tonight and taking the time. And I just want to thank everyone and say goodnight from Metal Mayhem ROC.
Thanks, guys. Keep rocking.
Thank you.
Metal for Life.
Thank you for listening to Metal Mayhem ROC. Check out our website at metalmayhemroc.com for information on podcasts, archives, links to all our live radio shows, and all sorts of info. Please like, follow, and share with everyone, even your non-metal friends. And always remember to keep it heavy.